皆さんこんにちは。
こんにちは。
レッドウィングジャパンマーケティングマネージャーの阿部です。
レッドウィングジャパン代表の小林由紀です。
よろしくお願いします。もう今日はもう早速画面にも映ってると思うんですけども、スペシャルゲストに、来ていただいております。レッドウィングのヘリテージ部門の、プレジデントのジョージと、マーケティングディレクターのジェイミー、この2人に、来ていただいております。はい。
今日いろいろねアメリカの話とかも。
そうですね。普段ちょっと僕たちだけではお話できないような内容で、届けていきたいなというふうに、思っております。はい。でまずちょっと早速なんですけども、実はちょうどこの撮影をしているのが、先日オープンした名古屋店の、オープンしたその翌日に実は、収録、しております。まず改めて名古屋店のオープンにお越しいただいた方、本当にたくさんの方が来ていただいて、本当にありがとうございます。
ありがとうございました。
実際に本当に想像以上、平日のオープンにもかかわらず、
本当にびっくりしました。
5時間6時間待ちとかっていうような状況になってしまって、
一番ね長かった時はそうですね。
なのにもかかわらず本当にすごく楽しみに待っていただいて、本当にありがとうございました。実はそのオープンの日も、2人は店頭にも実はいて、本当に2人にもお会いできた方もたくさんいらっしゃったと思うんですけども、
まずは名古屋のお店でね立ち会ってどうだったか聞いてみましょうか。Thank you for first of all joining our YouTube shooting. We were just talking about how wonderful yesterday was opening our new store in Nagoya, and you guys were there. So George, first of all, so in the past like 4 years, we have opened 4 or 5 stores, right? But this is actually the first time you actually be there for the first day. How was the day yesterday? What did you think? It
was amazing. First, it was my first time to Nagoya.
Right. That's right.
Never traveled to that city, so that was exciting to see a new area. But you're right. I've never been to the store opening day. I never saw the excitement before. It was amazing. It was very calm before. The store was all very clean, but we saw the line start to happen outside the mall, and and I could look down and see people wearing Red Wing boots, and I'm like, oh my gosh, they're all going to come to our store.
And then they did.
They did. And so we, to see that big line, we had a big line outside, and the team was doing a great job servicing them, and doing a proper fit, but trying to move through them fast. I was just amazed at how many people showed up that first day, how many pairs, and everyone wanted to buy a pair.
Right.
Some people were running. You saw trying to get first in line, running down the mall.
Right. The first customers.
Just showed the passion. But I was just amazed by how excited everyone was and how passionate and excited they are to have a store in that area. We didn't have a store in Nagoya, and now they have a store that they feel is their own in their own region. It was very exciting.
It was so nice to have you there finally for the first day of the opening. And then Jamie, actually, you came to Japan. This is the first time, right? So I'm curious, what do you think of Japan?
It has been amazing. My first time here and being able to go to a store opening and see how your stores are set up and how beautiful they are. And what I think has been even more exciting is to meet your customers and to hear their stories about how they got their first pair of Red Wings and they loved the brand.
That's right.
And then they were bringing their family and their friends to come and experience the brand and get new shoes. And it was just amazing to meet them and to hear how passionate they are about the brand and how loyal they are to the brand and how much it means to them has been so impactful. And so that has been one of my favorite parts so far.
Okay. It's your 4th day, right, today?
Yes.
In Japan?
Yes.
Right. Yeah. But I think with your, role in Red Wing as a marketing director, you go to many events in the US. You have an opportunity to meet up with a lot of fans in the US too, right? Do you see any in commons or differences, the fan in US and Japan?
That's a good question.
Yeah, I'm curious.
I think what's really cool is that our fans in the US and our fans in Japan, they love the brand in the same way.
Right,
and so that makes them
That's what
similar.
I thought, yeah.
They love the ethos of the brand. They love the history of the brand. what it means to them is similar, and so they share that sentiment, even though they're different. One of the things that we were talking about is even just how your customers wear your products, and they have a different kind of self-expression, and they style them differently, and it's so unique and so interesting. And in the US, you know, they might style them or wear them slightly differently. And that might be different, but they share the same passion about the products and about the brand. And so I think that's really cool.
Yeah. What do you think, George?
Yeah, I think, you know, it is a passion. And in the US, it's different. We don't have like the lifestyle heritage brand stores standalone.
Oh, that's right.
Our stores are work stores, and we sell the brand. And they mostly sell the work brand. So most of the customers in US, we sell more work boots. So they're more work boot customers, but you're right, Jamie, they're equally as passionate on the work side. And I always, you know, if you're flying somewhere and you meet somebody and you say, I work for Red Wing, there's just two answers. One, say, oh, I don't know about them. Or I know them and I love them. Nobody ever says, oh, I know them and they're okay. So the people who know them are very, very passionate, even if it's a work boot. The work boot customer has the same passion as a lifestyle.
That's great. でも本当なんか日本のお客様が昨日名古屋のお店で、たくさんたまたまこうオープニングで来てくれてたからこそ、そのアメリカから来てる、ジョージとかジェイミーとなんか実際話したり、
コミュニケーションも取っていただいて、
できたお客様も結構いたと思うんですけど、なんかそれ見てすごい嬉しかったです。
そうですね、なかなか僕らも普段はない機会だったので、なんか本当に日本のお客様と実際にジョージとジェイミーがこう触れ合うっていうのは、僕も初めての経験だったんですけど、すごくいい時間を過ごせたなというふうに思ってます。
あとやっぱりその日本のファンの、このレッドウィングへの愛っていうのを、その私たちがいつもね、それ話すじゃん、アメリカで。でもそれを直接やっぱり見れたのはすごい。
より伝わったんじゃないかなというふうに思います。
で今日はこの2人がねせっかく YouTube にこう出てくれてて聞きたい質問があるんですけど、皆さんレッドウィングが好きな方この動画今見てくださってると思うんですけど、そのレッドウィングのなんかこうが唯一無二みたいなポイントってみんな違うじゃん。
そうですね。それぞれあると思います。
そう。なのでこの2人にとってはどうなのかっていう質問をしてもいいたいんですけど、いいですか？Okay, so I have a question for you guys. So, you know, there's so many reasons for the people to fall in love with Red Wing brand, right? But for you, George, what do you think of the brand to be like stand out or like Red Wing to be so unique?
It's interesting because I think when I started in 2012, when I left my other company and I was looking for something different, and the one thing I had on my list, I wanted to work for a family-owned company. And I felt that they would look further into the future. They wouldn't do things for short term. They look out for the brand in the long term. And when I met the owner, Bill Sweezy, you know, for the first time in the interview, I asked him, what did he want from me? And I thought it'd be financial targets, growth, you know, profit.
During the interview?
Yeah. And he said to me, I want you to build a brand we can be proud of to pass on to the next generation.
Wow.
It took me a while to think it. Then I thought, wow, that's a lot of responsibility, but it's a great answer.
Yeah, wow. So the Bill Sweezy is actually the father of Allison, our current CEO.
Yeah, and he was president and CEO of the test. Yeah, and his and was his father as well.
Wow, I didn't know that story. That's amazing.
Yeah, and I thought first I thought, oh, that's easy. Then I thought, oh, that's not. It's a lot of
pressure.
Actually,
it's deeper than that, right?
Yeah, it's a lot of pressure on
generations that you take over.
But it makes you think long term to do the right thing for the long term.
Yeah. What about Jamie?
Yeah, I think one of the decisions that the organization has made is their commitment to continuing to make our products in the USA.
Yes.
And that's so important to our consumer and it's so important to the company. And so it's great that we have that and all of our heritage products are made in the USA still today.
Right.
And they're still crafted by hand using our own leather. And it's so important for the brand. And so just the decisions on behalf of the organization to keep doing that help set us apart too from other brands who no longer make in the USA.
Right, because there's a lot of brands who give up making in their original countries, but So a lot of customers, like even Red Wing fans, sometimes they surprised to find out we still continue to make everything in the US for heritage.
Yeah, and it's not easy. Like you said, the reason people move is because it's very hard to make in the USA. To get craftsmen, to have workers who want to work in the factories.
Yeah.
And then even all the parts, whether it's the laces or the eyelets or the heels and the soles, we want them made in USA, but the suppliers are getting smaller and smaller. The most important part of all of our boots that we have in common, men's and women's, is leather.
Yes.
And we're lucky that we own the tannery,
Yes.
right? The tannery is called SB Foot Tannery, and Charles Beckman, who's the founder of Red Wing, used to work at that tannery.
Yes.
So we started in 1905 at Red Wing. The tannery started in 1880. It's even older than us. So he
That's
worked,
over 150 years old.
yeah. So he started there. We had actually our 150th
Yes.
anniversary last year
Yeah.
for the tannery. So we own that tannery. It's in Red Wing. So all of our leather, we control all of that leather, which is great. So we can make any kind of leather
Yes.
we want. Product development comes up with an idea. They work with the tannery. Here's the color. Here's the style of leather that we want. And they figure out how to make it. But we have a reliable source that we've had for 150 years.
I think it's so unique that this one brand makes the leather itself, like the ingredients,
Yeah.
the biggest ingredients of the shoes, right? We make the leather, and then we make the shoes, and then we have stores to sell, and then we collect for repair.
Yeah.
So it's like the beginning of the products to the end, like everything we control. That's, I think, one of the uniqueness that we have.
Yeah, they call that vertically integrated, right?
Okay,
Where we
right.
start with the raw materials all the way, not only do we make them, but we sell them in our own stores, right?
Yeah.
We control everything now, right?
Right.
You know, and we can keep our standards.
But that's why I think we have this like solid value. We
Yeah.
never change for like 100,
Yeah.
over 100 years. Yeah.
So I got a question for you. Say, I'm going to ask you a question first.
質問が来た。
Yeah,
緊張する。
yeah. It's tricking you. So Jamie and I talked about just how passionate the consumers are here.
Yeah.
And you've worked at different companies. What do you notice about our Red Wing customers in Japan that's different from other companies you worked at?
そうです。日本語でいいんですか？
あ、いいよ、私が。
はい。僕もレッドウィングの、ファンなので、
はいはい。
本当にその日本のお客様と一緒に僕もこう共感し合って、そうですよね、そうですよねみたいな、
なるほど。
わかりますみたいな感じで共感を一緒にこう分かち合う、本当になんだろう、そういう
確かにそれはレッドウィング
かっこいいポイントとかそういうのと
ならでは
か
かも
こういいところとかっていうのをこう、あとその悩みだったりとか、はい、同じような、
そうだよね
はい、気持ちで入れるってところがやっぱり一番かな。はい
It's actually really touching though, because he is one of the fans, right? The Red Wing fan. So he can actually resonate with our consumers, all the excitement, all the concerns, all the feelings that our consumer has, he has it too. And then, understanding all those, feeling, resonating with consumer, and then running the marketing is something very unique he never done before.
I know he's passionate because we saw his car today. And the license plate, 8133, his favorite boot style.
写真撮ってたよ。
僕もそこに立ってやったんで。
もうあれを見ればわかるっていう
そうです
安倍さんの、
はい
ファンということは。
So Yuki, I have a question for you.
Okay.
All right, your turn now. We decided to open up this office 19 years ago and represent, ourselves in Japan. We knew it was an important market for us. You were the second employee ever hired here. You've been here 19 years, and you've done almost every job since I've known you here. You've learned a ton, but now you're the leader of the company.
Right.
What have you noticed, and what's changed, and what have you learned from going from that role to being the leader of Red Wing Japan?
Right. So it's been close to like 4 years now since I lead the company, right? And then before that, I was actually like more of like inside, doing the operations, quality controls, talking. I always have an opportunity to talk with the team in the US, before.
Yeah, you came over quite a bit.
Yeah,
to
correct,
visit,
correct. And then the plant, and I had a huge respect, for the, workers in the US, factories, and then leathers. But since I became the leader, I had so much more opportunity to actually interact with consumers or the customers who sell our shoes at their stores, right? And then that experience actually made me realize or understand the true value of the brand, through those excitements or the love or passions, for the brand from the consumers, the customers. I was able to truly understand the value of the brand. And then that made me love Red Wing even more, but also made me want to expand the customer base because, this is the brand, who can be worn, it can be worn by any people, beyond gender or lifestyle or the generations, ages, right? So that's why I'm more passionate about expanding, letting people know about the brand because of the love that I gained.
It's interesting. At the Goya store, we saw all that range of customers,
right?
Male, female, young, old, businessmen. People who had a much different styles.
Right.
From rock and roll or punk style to a businessman in a suit. And but they're all equally passionate.
Yeah. And I think that inclusivity is very big, topics in Japan too now. But I think Red Wing is a role model to be inclusive because this boots is welcoming any type of people, right? So
I think that's the same in the U.S. We choose, you buy it, but you choose how you want to wear it, and that's what's great about, I think, the Red Wing boots.
Right. Yeah. Thank you for asking. Yeah. 私と安部さんがいつもそのアメリカチームで一番こうミーティングとか、話したりするのがこの2人だから、2人に同時に私たちの YouTube に出てもらえてめっちゃ楽しかったね。
僕も知らなかったお話が中に結構あったので、
そうだよね。
すごいちょっとこのまま聞いてたいぐらいなんですけど、すごく編集がきっと今回大変だと思うので、ちょっともうそろそろ
同時日本語と英語を入れないといけない。
そうですね。なのでちょっとせっかくなので見てくださってる日本のお客様にせっかくのメッセージを。
そうですね。はい。Okay, so we are wrapping up the shoot, and then I would like you guys to, send a message to the audience in Japan.
Okay.
Yeah, can you?
You want to go first?
Yeah. Maybe you.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. Thank you so much for having me. My first time in Japan has been incredible and inspiring, and I feel so connected by the brand and the team and the consumers that you have who come into your store. And it's just been such an eye-opening experience to work for the brand and truly see it as a global brand. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. I'd also like to say thank you. It was very cool to go to the opening of the Nagoya store and meet customers face to face. And I think it inspires us to continue doing what we do, to build great products at high quality, build on with our leather, and bring great products to Japan that will surprise and excite all the consumers here. And there'll be things coming every season. We will bring you something new and exciting from our archives, and we're excited to come back and show you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, I hope we can do it again maybe next year or
Yeah.
Right? For more exciting news. With exciting
there will
news.
be exciting news every time.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
ちょっとここからいつもの
そうですね。
はい。
So we're gonna finish up with he has things that he has to say.
はい、いかがだったでしょうか。こういった形で今後も YouTube 続けてまいりますので、特にこういったスペシャルな回も定期的にございますので、お見逃しないようにしていただくためにもチャンネル登録、していただいて、あとせっかくなのでコメント、今回のコメント特に2人も見ると思いますので、ぜひいろんなコメントだったりとか、していただければなと思います。あと合わせてですね、今回名古屋店のオープンのお知らせだったりとかもLINE で発信させていただいたんですけども、こちらの友達登録も引き続きよろしくお願いいたします。
あとは、多分今回のコメントとかはアメリカチームも見てると思うから、復刻してほしいとか、
それ言っちゃいますね。
そういうのも今回のコメントでぜひ、
例えばエンジニアブーツとかそういうことですよね。はい、僕も言っちゃいましたけど、ぜひコメントしていただければなと思います。はい。じゃあ本日ありがとうございました。
ありがとうございます。
はい、OK です。
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Good job.
Thank you.
Good job, Sarah.
Thank you.